when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit, not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Welcome to Century High School here on Gate City Game Night. We just had the game ball delivered by our local Life Flight. As they get ready to take off right there, The game ball delivered here at Century High School. The Diamondbacks taking on the Highland Rams here at the opening home game here at Century High School. Lauren Jensen along with Matt Kelly here on IdahoSports.com. Thanks for joining us. Once again for Gate City Game Night. We are going to step away for our national anthem. We'll be back for a little pregame here on IdahoSports.com. Don't go anywhere.
When local matters, Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union, also presented in part by Valley Office Systems and Portneuf Medical Center. Huge thanks to all our sponsors, and thanks for joining us here on Gate City Game Night. Also brought to you in part by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. A huge thanks to Valley Office Systems and Rico. They're your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because they're a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems and Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. Well, the Highland Rams won the opening toss. They opted to defer to the second half, and so they will kick away here to the Century Diamondbacks here on opening night. It's Century High School. Kickoff taken at the 10 and returned up to about the 30-yard line. And that's where Century will take over. They're 0-2, the Diamondbacks, as are the Highland Rams. Century losing to both Hillcrest and Bonneville in weeks 1 and 2. Highland defeated by Lehigh, Utah at the Rocky Mountain Rumble, and then by the Skyline Grizzlies at Ravston. So both teams looking to get their first win of the season here on a beautiful, little bit of smoky night here at Century High School. back at quarterback. And then on a keeper, and then popped at the 35-yard line. Quarterback Satter took a hit, and here comes a flag, and it's going to go against Highland. A little bit of jawing after the big hit. Personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct going against Highland. So one play and one unsportsmanlike penalty goes against the Rams. So tack on 15 extra yards. Satter back on his feet and ready to go. So it's right at the 50-yard line for the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I was going to mention, Lauren, tonight is the crosstown rivalry, so you'll see a lot of that tonight. You know, hopefully it's all on good sportsmanship.
Handoff right up the middle, taken by number 34, I believe, the ball carrier. That is Johnson. Johnson will pick up about 2 yards on the carry. I want to thank our power boosters for tonight's games, Teton Auto Group, Rockwell Homes as well. And a huge thanks to Lookout Credit Union. Hear a little bit from them here in a minute. That's a great point, Matt. Right off the bat, trying to set the tone. Highland doing a little bit of jawing on this crosstown rival game. Satter back to pass on the out route. It's caught short of the first down, but going to pick up about 4. Receiver on the play is Burrows for Century. And it's going to bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and a long 2 for Century on this opening drive. As they're across midfield into Highland territory and about the 42, 43-yard line. Back to pass, Satter looking for help, looking to run now, cuts back inside. He's going to end up short of the first down by about a yard. It'll be 4th and 1. So just a yard shy here. We'll see what the Diamondbacks looks like. They are opting to go for it here early in this ball game.
And it is high school football. It's the 40-yard line. You go for it on these scenarios, right?
It is kind of no man's land. Satter got him to jump, but not in across the ball. And so here comes the count from the back judge. A timeout called by Century. So they were trying to draw him off sides. They got him to bounce just a little, but not enough. So we'll see what Century opts to do after the timeout.
Yeah, Lauren, you mentioned the smoke in the air. You can definitely see the haze, especially as I look behind us as the sun is setting. Definitely, it's a very vivid orange, you know, as these harvest skies and wildfires, smoke from the wildfires will make it. Currently, just north of Pocatello, Fort Hall, suffering from a lot of wildfires up in their foothills.
Yeah, I was coming back from Idaho Falls last night about 6 or 7 o'clock, and that fire had been going, and I could see the fire up on the hillside as I came home. And this morning there was a nice little sprinkling of ash everywhere on my vehicles and stuff here in Pocatello. So still lined up to go for it after the timeout are the Diamondbacks. Another hard count. Now rolling to his left. In trouble is Satter on the move. Caught from behind. Popped. And a flag comes out behind the play. It's going to be holding against Century. My assumption will be that Highland will just decline this and take the football, but we will see.
Looks like the Highland offense is running onto the field.
So that indeed will be the case. The Highland Rams hold on 4th and short. In fact, they'll tackle for loss in the scenario. they'll get the ball at their own 45-yard line, 1st and 10 here with 9:18 to go in the first quarter. Again, a huge thanks to Lookout Credit Union, one of our presenting sponsor for Gate City Game Night here on IdahoSports.com. Crosstown rivalry, the Highland Rams and the Century Diamondbacks. Both trying to get the first win of the season. Handoff up the middle, taken by number 27. He's going to pick up about 7 on the carry. That is... I have Mason Fulmer. Mason Fulmer on the carry for the Highland Rams. Handoff again to Fulmer. Fulmer into the secondary. Breaking tackle, still on his feet all the way out across the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. So a huge run from Fulmer. First down, Highland. So Rams to Fulmer again. Fulmer tried to break it to the outside on the right-hand side of that line, drug down from behind. Nice tackle that time by number 7 for the Diamondbacks. That's Phelan.
Stop by number 7, Blake Phelan.
Phelan, excuse me. And it'll be 2nd and a long 9 for the Rams. Handoff to Fulmer, looking for some room around the left side, and great tackle on the corner. That's number 23 with a big hit for Century, Horton. And that'll bring up 3rd and 5. That's Drew Hymas, I believe, the quarterback for number 9 for the Rams. Handoff up the middle to Fulmer. He's got the first down on a big push. And then finally gang tackled by the Diamondbacks to the 16.
It's going to be a first down for Highland.
So 1st and 10 again now for the Rams as they're inside the red zone, threatening to score here with 7:08 left in the first quarter here on Gate City Game Night. A beautiful field here at Century High School. Matt, what were you saying? The mountain right in front of us. What was the name of that?
As I was coming into the high school, on Google Maps, it told me the mountain was called Hang Glider Mountain.
Hang Glider Mountain. Back to pass. They flip it out to Fulmer. Fulmer popped for a loss. He's going to lose a couple. Good pursuit by the Century Diamondbacks. And it looks like a hang glider mountain. Feel like you could just get up there and run off the top and with some wings on your back and float down to the field here.
Crazier things have happened.
There's a beautiful area right here in Pocatello anyways. A lot of motion. Handoff to Fulmer up the middle. And he's going to pick up about 4, but it'll get him just beyond the original line of scrimmage down to the 15. 3rd and 8 coming up for the Rams. Your 3rd and 8 upcoming here. Hymas rolling right, handoff popped and dropped.
That's 32. That's Horton.
Was it 23 or 32?
32.
It was Payne. Payne then on the outside, on that side. it was Callan, the ball carrier, and Callan couldn't get around the corner. Sophomore running back for the Rams, Kai Callan. And now it's 4th and 9 after a little bit of a loss there. The Rams looking to go for it. Of course, the Rams lost their all-state kicker who actually has debuted as the kicker for the Idaho State Bengals right here. And Ian Hershey back to pass is Hymas. Hymas trying to step up. He's sacked, and that'll be a turnover on downs. So the Diamondbacks come up with a big defensive stop of their own. And we're still knotted at zeros here with 4:41 left in the first quarter. And the Diamondbacks get to take over on first down at their own 15-yard line. So back out there for Century. Satter back in the gun once again. Back to pass on the deep route down the sideline, laying out and just beyond the reach of the intended receiver. Gunter was down the sideline. He got hung up just a little bit with the defensive back, and it slowed him down just enough. Good coverage out there on the corner from, I believe that's 0. Callan, once again, Kai Callan for the Rams. Rush comes, handoff up the middle, and hit and dropped after a short gain. On the carry again, Corbin Johnson.
You know, Lauren, we talk a lot about a team's or a school's identity, and it almost seems like both these teams are in kind of a almost rebuilding or a kind of redefining era. You know, for a long time, Highland was the top dog here in East Idaho, and now it's kind of shifting more towards the 5A Rigby schools, and Idaho Falls schools also getting in on the action.
Satter lets it fly across the middle, caught and then pops free. The question is, was it fumbled? And
with one ref signaling no, it was incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass called, and I thought that as well. As he came across the receiver there, Burrows, number 10, he never really got a handle on that ball, and then it got hit by the defender and popped it out for good. So it's going to bring up 4th down. I think that's the right call. Yeah, you bring up a good point, and of course, longtime Highland coach Gino Mariani, he stepped down this, so they're with a new head coach there at Highland. That's all. There's always a little bit of a feeling out period for players and coaches, especially for as long as Gino was there. Century is, they've had some good seasons, but again, they're trying to get things figured out this year. Callan takes it, and now going backwards, huge block in the back. So this is coming back no matter what. As down there to cover was Gunter, and he just got blown up from behind. So with the penalty, that's going to back him up 10 yards from that spot. So it'll be back to about the 41-yard line for Highland back on their own side. So, yeah, both these teams down here trying to figure things out a little bit this year. The funny thing is Pocatello for a long time has just been trying to get over the hump, trying to be king of the Gate City, if you will, and this very well may be the year. They made the playoffs last year. They've had a good run. They've got a good program going there now, and they might be king of Pocatello here this year. Well, option play taken by Callan. Callan with speed and a little shifty. Finally gets drugged down at the 40, but that's a big pickup of about 18 yards. 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Callan's a they call it Ironman athlete. Is that what they call it? Going both directions.
Yeah, and we've seen a few of them out here for both squads, actually, which is, not unheard of at the 4A and 5A level, but it's a little more uncommon than at some of the smaller schools. Back to pass, caught, and then wrapped up. Good job there by the defense to hold that to a 5-yard gain. Receiver for Highland on the play was Barella. Ridge Barella, a junior wide receiver for the Rams.
I was on the call for a couple holiday tournaments that Century was involved in for basketball this last season, and they're really kind of coming into their own as far as, I guess basketball. They were really, really good, and it's translating to on the field as well.
Trying to make a cut there was Ridge Barella again, and kind of on his cut lost his footing and went down just shy of the first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1. In Century, they did lose some athletes last year, as all schools do. You graduate kids every year, and so it'll be interesting to see what their football team looks like this year. What their basketball team looks like as well. Everything's been non-conference for them so far, so we'll see what they can do. A little bit of a keeper and hit and stopped. Nice tackle there by March. But a first down picked up once again by Drew Hymas.
And that was a clean wrap-up that the defensive men put on the QB there. It's one of those that it's clean, take him to the ground, but it's definitely felt, and make him question next time he's on a scramble like that.
So far, the defenses have held. 1:24 left here. Hand off to Fulmer. We haven't seen him for a minute, and he gets a nice pickup on first down, about 7. But it's going to come back. It looks like there's a holding penalty being called. Oh, excuse me. I thought there was a holding penalty. There was not. So 2nd and 6. He only picked up, or 2nd and 4, excuse me. He picked up 6. Highland in there visiting whites with the white ram horns on the black helmets. Ball tipped again off the hands of the receiver, Barella, but he couldn't haul it in. Lucky that wasn't picked off as he kind of tipped it up in the midst of several Diamondbacks. So it'll be 3rd and 5. As this is about the same spot where Highland turned it over on downs on the previous possession. 45 seconds left here in the first quarter. Back in the gun is Hymas. Pass at the sticks is caught, and that's enough for a first down at the 10-yard line. So it'll be very close. Looks like they're right at the 10. So are they going to go 1st and goal? Or is it still 1st and 10?
Well, the ball looks like it's on the 10-yard line, but...
Yeah, I can't tell if it's just shy or if it's sitting on it.
I guess if they give him that,
they've got
those inches.
Yeah, they've got the sticks up, so we're going to say 1st, and now they drop the sticks. Okay, 1st and goal. Handoff to Fulmer. Fulmer drug down from behind. Nice tackle. I think the first guy to get to him, number 7 on the tackle, that's Phelan. He's kind of been all over from that defensive line and defensive front.
Sorry. It wasn't me, it was her.
That is the end of the quarter as they blow the air horn. End of the quarter as we'll switch ends. Still nothing here at the crosstown rivalry. The Highland Rams nothing, the Century Diamondbacks nothing. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll be back here on IdahoSports.com.
That's a quarter.
I love Lookout's campus branch. The vibe and the service. But with digital banking, it all comes to me. My customizable dashboard provides all my information. Accounts, cards.
Anything else?
I'm good. Bill pay, even my credit score. Gotta go. I mean, you gotta go download this app and upload convenience today.
When joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Portneuf Medical Center, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Welcome back here as we're at the second quarter, start of the second quarter here at Century High School. Man in motion, handoff to Fulmer up the middle. He's got a little bit of a hole. It's going to be 3rd and goal now, I believe.
Highland really liking the ground attack, the run offense. I guess that's to say that they haven't been not known for their passes in the air, but really kind of just dominating up the front. This O-line able to open up gaps and holes that people are able to get 5 yards, 4 yards, bust out for 8, 10. It's working so far.
And right now at 3rd and goal, they need something. Rolling to his right is Hymas. He pitches out to Callan. Callan makes a man miss, popped. Ball came free, but he was out of bounds, short of the goal line. So it's going to be 4th and goal from about the 2, it looks like. Maybe just inside the 2.
I was noticing with obviously the gate, in Gate City, where these two mountains come together in a valley, and obviously I-15 runs through it. You kind of get this natural bowl, and the echo here is, it sounds like you're in a stadium, but it's
just the mountains.
It's awesome.
Handoff, Fulmer up the middle. He didn't get there. So the Diamondbacks close the gap. And Fulmer cut down short. Nice touchdown saving tackle there by Payne. And with 11:07 left here in the second, Century turns them away once again.
That was huge. That was definitely what this home crowd really appreciated over on this sideline. It's a special night tonight, and I think they have the youth cheerleader camp out tonight, and a bunch of the parents and locals showing up for their high school's game tonight.
Yeah, that little tailgate before the game. There's hot dogs and hamburgers out there tonight. Handoff up the middle goes just maybe for a yard out to the 4. Also, like you said, it's packed in here tonight. There are a lot of people from Highland, of course, just coming across town. And then, the Century side here is filled up as well. At halftime, there's going to be a little fundraiser, a punt, pass, and kick deal. Field goal scenario, so that we'll have that broadcast to you as well. There are a lot of things going on here. Back to pass, no, on the run, and a first down, getting a little room. There's number 34 on the carry, Johnson. First down for Century with 10:28 here and a little bit of breathing room out near the 20-yard line now. Say officially out at the 19. 1st and 10 for the Diamondbacks.
You open that up, and now you feel a little bit more comfortable going out of the gun. You can kind of run what you're used to, that spread offense.
Satter hands it off and caught in the backfield. Nowhere to go that time for Johnson. And it'll be 2nd and 11 as he lost a yard, got caught in the backfield. Remind everybody that there are a ton of games on IdahoSports.com tonight. A lot of games got canceled actually over in the Treasure Valley, over in Boise. It's really smoky. Some Cary, for example, had some games that was going to be at their Salmon and Coal Valley were going to play at Cary. That game got canceled. And the snap went past Satter, whistles blowing, and a false start on Century. That was just kind of a ugly looking formation and snap there, as nobody really knew what was going on. So they'll back that up. So there are some games that were originally going to be broadcast that aren't because of smoke. It's smoky here, but nothing, I guess, like the Treasure Valley has been today. Some of those got rescheduled for tomorrow, but from what I've heard, it may not happen tomorrow either because the air quality is not supposed to be much better. Back in the gun again, Satter. Hands off to Johnson again, I believe, up the middle. He's going to get a few yards back, and now a big flag coming in and another. We'll see who this is going to go against. So Johnson picked up about 3 on the carry. Dead ball, personal foul this time against Century. So that'll back him up half the distance to the goal. And after a big stop on defense, Century not doing themselves any favors on the offensive side of the ball. As it is 2nd and about 20 now for the Diamondbacks, all the way back to about their 7-yard line. Clock starts once again. Satter back in the gun with Johnson to his left. 3 wideouts on the far side. Now Johnson goes in motion. Satter takes it and goes straight up the middle with a little bit of a hole. So he gets a few yards back. It's going to be 4th, though, and about 12. And you got to expect that Century this deep in their own end will kick it away. Back to receive for Highland is Callan. And here comes the punt crew for the Diamondbacks. They might need to hurry up here, though. The play clock, kind of keep an eye on the back judge here. They might run out of time, as they took quite a bit of time to get their switch onto the field.
There he goes with his hand. Just checking.
So punt is away, end over end. Fair catch called for, and then he lets it bounce. Good, probably a good thought from the return man. It goes out of bounds. Pretty good punt when all's said and done. That's, you know, about a 50-plus yarder that took a nice bounce out at the 45-yard line. So no score still here with 7:52 left in the second quarter. The defenses have held up. Highlands threatened a couple times down near the 10 twice, but haven't been able to punch it in. Rolling left is Hymas. Flips it out and popped. About a 4-yard gain. Caught out there by Barella, but he paid for it.
Forward progress will give him the 4 he fought for.
Yeah, the 4 that he got before he got nailed. And at the end of it, it was Rawlings laying the lumber over there on the far side. Second, and actually we're going to say 2nd and 7. Hymas back, rolling right. Now he's got a blocker and he's going to run, coming up and driving him out of bounds. Very near the first down. See where he ended up going out. He may have it. And they are right at the 45-yard line, and it is a first down. So right at the 45-yard line of Century. 1st and 10 for the Highland Rams. Remind everybody that we've got an army of Idaho sports action photographers covering games all over the state. We've revamped our galleries to make it even easier to find and order your favorite action shots. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click the Action Photos link in the menu. Hymas, short crossing route and blown up. A huge hit. The catch was made by number 14 for Highland. That is Jet Richards.
And these passes, whether they're designed to be a hook, a comeback to look to get the pass, or whether it's just a short throw, they're really effective, when you're getting short gains like that. But as a quarterback, it really kind of gets in your head. You're putting your guys on the line, really. They're getting clapped every time they go for the reception.
Well, and the wide receivers start to think about that a little bit too, especially if you have to start reaching out for a ball. When am I going to get hit? Hymas rolling left. Now he throws downfield, knocked away. Good defensive play out there by Gunter. Gunter came all the way across from his safety position and knocked it down with 6:17 left, and it's 3rd and 5 now for the Highland Rams.
I like the Diamondback supporters with their maracas, right? Because the whole snake theme.
We do have the maracas, that's right.
We won't.
They're like rattles, I didn't even think about that.
Well, we won't go into the specifics of whether or not Diamondbacks have. I guess they would, right? Diamondbacks are rattlesnakes.
I think they're a rattlesnake, yeah.
It's another term.
Yeah.
It checked out.
Don't second guess fumble on the play. The flag came in, but I don't think that's a flag per se. I think that's marking the fumble. He might have just thrown the wrong one. We'll see what the call is. Century says they've got it. Holding on Highland. Century does. So ball's coughed up. Century recovers, and it's 1st and 10 for the Diamondbacks.
And so, and they decline, right?
Correct. Yeah, they'll decline that penalty and take the ball.
For a second, it looked like he was about to count off yards. He was just marking it with his foot.
So 1st and 10 for Century. Still no score here midway through the 2nd quarter. Option. And that's going to be a fumbled ball. Did Century get it back? No, they did not. Highland picks it up. So kind of a bad decision that time from Hymas. Pitched it the wrong way.
Well, I'll tell you, Lauren, in my very limited view, obviously through a 2-inch screen on the camera, I thought it was a forward pass, and so I thought they were going to blow it dead. But the flip was laterally. We're behind them.
So 1st and 10 for the Rams. Handoff goes to Fulmer. Fulmer trying to get across the left side, and he does. Picks up about 6 or maybe 7 yards over the left side. We talked about Highland's losses. They're 0-2 on the season, and I guarantee you that hasn't been very common over the last 10 to 15 years for the Highland Rams. They lost 42-7 to Lehigh, Utah, very good Lehigh, Utah high school. And then they lost 29-21 to 4A Skyline, which, that's Skyline no slouch. They're trying to three-peat this year. Back to pass, Hymas. Now he steps up in the pocket, but he's going to get hit behind the line of scrimmage and sacked. In on the sack, there's number 11, that's Bull. Number 83 as well in there, that's Horrocks. 2 of the 3 guys that were in on that sack all the way back to the 35-yard line.
Skyline tonight actually playing Thunder Ridge. It's the battle of the father and son, right?
That's right.
Coach.
The Berger Bowl.
The Bergers.
It's the Berger Bowl tonight. Michael, at the new head coach at Thunder Ridge, and of course Scott, the longtime head coach at Skyline. So after the big tackle, the big sack all the way back to the 35, it's 3rd and 11. Back to pass, going down the field, into coverage, and knocked away once again. It's Gunter out there. And really the offense turned into defense there as he tried to knock it away from Gunter. So another defensive stop for the Diamondbacks as we just go back and forth, a couple turnovers, a fumble on each side, and with 4:23 here, it's 4th and 11. It looks Hymas is backed up to punt. See if he can drop it in if they're going to do something tricky. They will not. He will kick it, but that's going to get into the end zone for a touchback. So they gain about 15 yards on the exchange as it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Century Diamondbacks. Make the memories last a lifetime by owning the digital game file of this game for just $9.95. You just click the button in the top right to order. And you can follow Idaho Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Just click the icons on the top left to follow us now. So the defensive stalemate continues here. As Century with the football now. Again, a flag. We're going to have, I would assume, a false start. No, an offsides. Lined up offsides are the Rams. So 5 yards, free yards here for Century. Talked about Highland's schedule, talk about Century. They went back-to-back games at Thunder Stadium up in Idaho Falls. Of course, Hillcrest and Bonneville share the same football field. They lost to Hillcrest on week 1, 34-8, and then lost to Bonneville 33-15. Same field. Handoff over the right side. It's Fulmer. No, it was not Fulmer on the carry. It was a keeper there by Satter. And no gain on the play. It's still 2nd and 5 after that offsides penalty now. After tonight's Century will be back here against Minico next week. Throw out in the flat, little wide receiver screen, trying to get to the outside. Flag comes in, there's going to be a holding on the outside, so that'll negate any gain out there. After Century faces Minico here at home next week, they'll travel to Twin Falls, then to Idaho Falls. That'll be a a 4A matchup. Then Preston here at home. And then at Pocatello, Lookout Credit Union Field there in Pocatello to round out the season. .327 left here in the first half, and jumping across the line, big number 55, the nose tackle, or for the nose guard for the Highland Rams. 5 more yards. It's still 2nd down after about, now it's 3rd down, but we've had about 7 plays and it's now 3rd down coming up.
In this game, it's plagued with penalties and turnovers. I mean, it hasn't been pretty, but the defensive efforts on both sides have been pretty admirable when you're not being penalized. A lot of big stops.
There have been some big hits early in this first half, and it's been all defenses. It's nothing still here with 2:45 left in the quarter. 3rd and 10 now. Highlands played a lot on Century's end offensively, and Century really hasn't been able to get across midfield. Throwing down the field, underthrown, nearly picked off. It tipped off to a couple Highland Rams. They couldn't haul it in. And it'll be 4th and 10 now. And Century will punt it away once again. 2:28 left here in the second. The always entertaining and occasionally controversial, the IdahoSports.com Prepcast cover every inch of Idaho, hosted by Brandon Bainey. Each Prepcast features one of our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. High punt, but not very far. Takes a nice bounce for Century as it rolls down to about the 45-yard line. Could have been a lot worse, but it takes a nice bounce. And now Highland, like I said, they've played most of the game on Highland or on Century's side of the field, but they have not been able to get it into the end zone.
We'll see if 2:18 on the clock gives Highland enough time before the half.
Back to pass is Hymas. Across the middle, it's caught. And now a little bit of running room. First down. Barella with the catch down to about the 32-yard line. So clock continues to run down to 2 minutes now. Hymas, excuse me, looking again downfield. And it's caught. Big hit in the back, but it is caught and controlled. We're for Durham and another first down. Now, Century Highland able to find some little gaps in that defense. Now, quickly, Hymas again to pass. Open is Callan. Callan, little move to the inside. And tripped up, but another first down. Now it's 1st and goal for the Rams, 1:36 left. Highland trying to get on the board here before the end of the half. Thanks for joining us here on Gate City Game Night. Crosstown rivalry, the Highland Rams taking on the Century Diamondbacks here at Century High School. Hymas rolling right, hit as he throws, it's caught, touchdown. Barella at the goal line, and the Rams do get a touchdown here in the first half. It's 6-0 Highland with 1:11 left in the half.
Highland went into quick mode, just one right after another. I guess this is the 2-minute drill, right? And you're on the 40, kind of press in.
They did, and it worked to perfection. On for the PAT, it's up and good. That's number 23 for Highland in to do the kicking. That's Jamison Francis, senior kicker for the Rams. And the Rams take the lead 7-0. We're going to step away for a break. We'll be back. This is Gate City Game Night here on IdahoSports.com.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Welcome back here as Highland takes the lead with 1:11 left. A kickoff taken right around the 3. On the run back, that is Gunter. Gunter trying to make some guys miss, finally knocked out of bounds. Nice return out to the 30. It'll be 1st and 10 with 1:03 left for Century to try to do something here in the first half. Valley Office Systems and Rico are your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because we're a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems and Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. Huge thanks to one of our sponsors for Gate City Game Night, Valley Office Systems. Of course, Portneuf Medical Center, another sponsor, and our presenting sponsor, Lookout Credit Union. You can see their Lookout's logo there in the bottom right of your viewer. Huge thanks to Lookout coming on this year as sponsor for Gate City Game Night, excuse me. After a 2-yard gain on 1st and 10, timeout called by Highland with 53 seconds left here in the second quarter. Century has it, 2nd and 8. Remember to check out the Friday Night Flash. It's your one-stop shop for all the football scores from across the state here on IdahoSports.com. Those scores will get updated as they go. Keep in mind that there were a lot of games postponed and canceled today, especially in the Treasure Valley. I did hear that some of the games, the further west you went, it got a little better. For example, like New Plymouth was still going to play, and Notice, as you got closer toward the Oregon border, there were a few more games being played, but most of the Boise area schools and those games had been canceled, anything that was happening there. And some kind of in central Idaho as well. Handoff up the middle from Satter, and no real gain there. Timeout called now by Century, 3rd and 8 with 48 seconds left. Stick with us at halftime. There's a little fundraiser put on by IdahoSports.com here at halftime. All the proceeds, it's a 100% fundraiser. All the proceeds going to the local school. We'll be doing these fundraisers at all of the Gate City high schools, so Century, Highland, and Pocatello, and a handful of other schools across the state as well. But school district here, all those proceeds from it are going to Century High School. And that will be happening on all of their home games this year. So if you end up being at the game and you want to take part in that, find the person selling tickets. Handoff. Nowhere to go on 3rd down. It's 4th and about 9 now upcoming. As on the carry that time was Johnson for the Diamondbacks, and both defenses really holding up well here. Only one drive put together by Highland, and that was late here in the second quarter that's resulted in any points. With 42 seconds left, it's the Highland Rams looking to get this football back, try to do something here at the end of the quarter.
As the sun sets behind the hills to our west, I'm looking back, and yeah, it's really kind of the smoke we're kind of seeing, similar to what West Idaho is experiencing. I wonder if maybe next week we'll have some games over on the east side either get postponed or canceled altogether. Always a impactful thing in Idaho, obviously, with the wildfires that go on this time of year. And Century will call their final timeout.
So they let a little time run off. 42 seconds left here. Yeah, 42 seconds left here. Century going to punt away smartly. Now they've got to try to make sure they don't let anything happen here before the end of the half. Ball kind of fumbled. Kick got away. He got run into. It was tipped, they say. So pretty dang nice kick after getting a bad handle on the football. Still able to get it away. And with 29 seconds left, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Highland Rams at about the 26-yard line.
They did use one of their timeouts to get this possession. We'll see what they end up going with here. You're back on your own 22-yard line, so what do you hope to do with 29 seconds left? You're up by 7. Drop backs to pass.
And a smart play there to get out of bounds from Hymas. Picked up everything he could and then gets out of bounds. Yeah, what does Highland try to do here? I'm always of the opinion, let's take a shot, The likelihood of a pick and then a return, especially if you're going down the field, is very unlikely. I like taking some shots here. Pick up some yards and then take your shots down the field. Hymas back in the gun all by himself. And a bad snap, and he just falls on it. Probably a good idea. That might kill any ideas of trying to go down the field further here. And I didn't see, was it a bad snap, Matt?
Yeah, it was rolling by the time it came between the center's legs. It was just never got the height.
It never got off the ground on the snap. And that's it. The quarter's over via air horn here in the booth. But at the end of the half, it's 7-0, a defensive battle here at Century High School. Highland going into halftime with a lead. We're going to step away for a halftime quick break. We'll come back for the fundraiser here at Century High School. Don't go anywhere. It's Gate City Game Night here on IdahoSports.com.
Matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't.
Well, welcome back here at Century High School. We're at halftime here at the fundraiser. It's a little field goal competition here.
They're saying a couple of students, I think they announced it to all the students.
So it is
school.
Basically a punt, pass, kick. So there's the punt.
I'll put it on the 20-yard line.
There's the pass all the way down to the 40. And I think this is where he's got to try to kick it in from. So you start on your own goal line. You punt as far as you can. You pass it as far as you can. And then from here, you got to set up and kick it off a tee for a field goal. He gave himself a few extra yards up to the 37. We'll see. If he's got the leg, they might be getting a new kicker on the football team.
Right.
Of course, here it goes. And nope, not that time. He couldn't get it there. So a good oh, he got one more shot. He's got one more shot. From about, we'll say in between the 37 and 38. He didn't get that one really off the ground. And same thing, kind of same result. So a good effort there. But he comes up short.
How far do you think you'd get, Lauren? How's your punt?
I feel like I could punt it and throw it a decent ways, but I've never really ever kicked a field goal. Not one time. So I have no idea. I probably couldn't hit it from 10 yards. So
well, and they're using a kickoff
tee, which makes it probably a little more difficult, I would assume. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, these players tonight, they're kicking it 60 yards, in the air with
off the tee
kickoffs, but
yeah, that's true.
The accuracy, I guess it declines.
So here at halftime, we've had the cheerleaders out, we had the fundraiser here at halftime, and now the dance team for Century High School. A 7-0 lead for the Highland Rams. In a defensive battle. That's all it was. Some turnovers led to Highland, and Highland really had field possession advantage. I mean, they were playing the majority of the game on the other side of the 50. They got down to the 15, the 10 a couple of times on a couple drives, were stopped by Century. And then finally, and Century stopped them again, actually down around the 3 or 4 yard line as well. So some good job by the defense. And then finally Century at the end of or Highland at the end of the half put together a quick drive, about 45 yards to finally punch it in for the only score of the half.
If we were looking at the time of possession, and I wasn't keeping track, but I think Highland's kind of, held on to the ball on the offense, and that'll start to wear on the Diamondback defense, and just, you wonder late third quarter, fourth quarter kind of come, and we'll see how what's conditioning,
yeah,
how that's paid off, right?
Well, and interesting. I was talking to a few fans prior to the game, and there were fans that really felt like this was going to be a blowout, that Highland was just going to come out and blow Century out of the water, and that just hasn't happened. I mean, we were all even. Granted, I will agree with you, Highland has had more time of possession offensively, which has really put the Century defense in a hard spot, but they've come up time and time again and answered the call. But yeah, will that factor in towards the end of the game? Will Highland wear that defense down just based on sheer time of possession?
And I guess that does put something on Highland for, the amount of times, like you're saying. How much of this game has been played on Highland's half, where they really should have punched it in a few times. And it wasn't until they're on their own 40, I guess, still on their own half of the field, but with 2 minutes to go at the end of the half, and we're able to put 7 on the board. But I guess it took that time crunch to do it.
Yeah, they're just a lot of empty drives for both teams, but Highland in the lead over at the Century Diamondbacks here at Century High School, opening home night here at Century High School. A good crowd from both of these schools. We're going to step away again for thank some of our sponsors here on Gate City Game Night. This is IdahoSports.com. We will be back.
Team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's national sales event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Welcome, Black. We are here at halftime at Century High School. There the Century Diamondbacks back onto the field, and here come the Highland Rams across the way. 7-0. Highland leads here on Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union. Also presented in part by Valley Office Systems and Portneuf Medical Center. There's Valley Office Systems and Rico are your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because they are a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems and Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. And also brought to you in part by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Huge thanks to all of our sponsors here for Gate City Game Night. Not a lot of scoring wrap-up for you here in the first half. It was Hymas to Barella with about 1:15 left in the quarter for the one and only score of the ball game. About a 6-yard touchdown pass. It was about a 45-yard drive for Highland. They got it with about 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. They had 4 or 5 complete passes that got them down to the end zone for the only score of the game. They lead 7-0 here as we head into the third quarter. And it will be Highland getting the football to start the third quarter. At halftime, we had the punt, pass, and kick challenge fundraiser here put on by IdahoSports.com. The contestant, he got it down with the punt and the pass. He got it down to about the 37-yard line. Got 2 tries off the tee for the field goal, and just there's talent to be able to kick off of a tee or a field goal, you know, somebody holding it on the ground, to get it off the ground, and really that was the problem. He just couldn't get it up into the air. And so, good effort on his part. We had the dance team out there as well. A lot going on here tonight at Century High School at halftime. And as we get underway here for the third quarter, it's going to be the Diamondbacks kicking off to the Highland Rams. Here on Gate City Game Night. And here we go. Short kick taken at the 20 by Callan. Callan with a hole up the middle. And he's got the step. Gunter, the only one who might get to him, and he will not. Kai Callan back takes the second half kickoff back to the end zone. 13 to nothing Highland.
So we go scoreless to start the game until the final 2 minutes of the first half. And within the first, we ran off, 11 seconds. There's 6 on the board.
It didn't take long for Callan to get to that end zone. And just like that, as you mentioned, we go almost 2 full quarters without a score, and then right off the opening kick of the third quarter, Kai Callan takes it 80 yards to the house to make it 13 to nothing. And an offsides by, that was number 7 jumping through there for Century. That's Phelan. Phelan untouched right through the line.
I guess that's concerning and discipline, right, at the same time. From the
well, a good discipline, yeah, good discipline that nobody moved to try to block him. Here's the PAT from a little closer, and he knocks it in. A little bit of collision there as well. But the PAT is good. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-score lead off the opening kickoff of the third quarter, and that's kind of takes the wind out of your sails a little bit if you're Century. You know, you were hanging around with them, had played a great defensive quarter, and then you get Callan up the middle, and he, you know, if he gets by most people, he's not going to get caught. He's a fast sophomore on this team. You could see the speed there as he pulled away from Gunter, who's no slouch himself.
He is definitely going to be a force to reckon with, right? The remainder of his tenure here at Highland. He's going to be one to watch out for.
Highland's had a few of those guys come through the program. Just the speedsters. They've had some great football players come out of this Highland program over the last several years that have gone on to play Division I football and professional football, actually.
I was just going to say, I think Mr. Taysom Hill just signed a $10 million contract for this next upcoming season.
Nice little payday.
He's doing all right.
So this kickoff taken at about this 5. And then wrapped up back at the 15 and dropped. So about a 10-yard return for Rollins. Actually, I think that's Gunter actually on the return for the Diamondbacks. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 15 for Century. They need to get something going offensively. On the quarterback carry from Satter.
Satter up the middle.
He'll pick up, looks like maybe, actually he might have lost half a yard on the play. So 2nd and 10, a long 10 for Century. They just haven't been able to get much going offensively. They've had some decent plays, but haven't been able to string a nice drive together yet. Rush coming, Satter flies it out, but that's a loss. It's caught out there in the backfield, and a big loss, actually. That's almost a 10-yard loss on that completed pass. Scratch that, about a 7-yard loss. So 3rd and about 17 upcoming now for the Diamondbacks as they're going the wrong direction here early in the third quarter on Gate City Game Night here on IdahoSports.com. Ball's caught, but again, only about 4 or 5 yards gained. That was Rawlings with the catch. That's going to be 4th and long, almost 4th and 12.
I was going to say, do you feel a little bit of deja vu in this moment? You know, back on Century's own goal line, punting away. Drive to end the half.
Fair catch called for and hauled in by Barella. So once again, Highland will start in Century territory, and this has been, I think, the killer that right now for Century is they haven't been able to flip-flop the field position on Highland at all. They've been punting from deep. So Highland has started multiple possessions inside of Century territory. Ball's caught by Callan, and Callan taken down shortly thereafter. And short gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Back to pass, deep drop for Hymas. Steps up, wide open across the middle as he found Callan in a soft spot in the defense. And now it is 1st and 10 after a big pickup. 9:03 left here in the third. And the offense starting to show up a little bit here for the Rams. It seemed like it might only be a matter of time before the time of possession and the offense of Highland got going. And it seems like it's starting to take effect here early in the third quarter. .8:25 and counting here in the third. As Highland comes back to the line of scrimmage. Man in motion on the far side. Across the middle, and that's Barella off the hands and incomplete. So it'll be 3rd and 10 now upcoming for Highland. And I will say this, the Century defense has really done a good job in this game. I mean, special teams let a kickoff return go here at the start of the third quarter, and they did give up a touchdown, but they've had 3 or 4 stops deep in their own end that have turned away Highland scoring drives. And really, the defense have only given up 7 points in this ball game. Hymas rolling, gets rid of it, caught but out of bounds and incomplete. So good effort out there by Durham on this near sideline, but too far outside. And now it is 4th and 10. So again, you may have the defense forcing the turnover on downs. We'll see what Highland opts to do here, if they'll try the field goal or if they, it looks like they pulled out a new unit onto the field for a field goal, and it is. On for the Rams. Jamison Francis, and a bad snap. Francis picks it up, and he gets tackled for a loss. So a turnover on downs, and again, the defense for Century comes up big. And you can't give them enough credit. They've really only given up the 1 touchdown. They've been put in tough spots all evening. And again, they come up with a big stop, give their defense and offense another chance on the field.
As the game, gets a little bit older tonight, you kind of start to notice a couple fundamentals getting a little bit lax.
Caught out in the flat, and now shedding a tackler. Ball got knocked away, And Century with a big effort to get on it. We'll see what the going to be. It's going to stay with the Diamondbacks. The ball got knocked out of the hands of the receiver, Burrows. And then I think it got out of bounds before anybody could control it.
By fundamentals, it's things like that. Obviously ball control is huge, and stuff happens. You get the ball punched out. Bad snaps or penalties that really shouldn't happen. False starts or offsides.
Another bad snap, but ends up in the hands of Johnson. Yeah, that one kind of, again, goes to the side. It hits the hands of the quarterback, Satter, but then, bounces off the pads of Johnson. So, you're right on cue, Matt, with, bad snaps, and there you have one that's just off to the side. Just offensively, Century not able to get into a rhythm. Better snap that time. Satter with some time, picked off. Stepping in front of it, number 11 for Highland. He's going down the sideline, all the way down inside the 5. And that is Colton George with a huge pickoff. Another turnover racking up as he stepped in front of it. And now Highland looking to go up 21-0 if they can punch this in. 1st and goal from about the 4. So Colton George, the junior linebacker, jumped that route, picked it off. 1st and goal from the 4 for the Rams. 7:03 left here in the 3rd. Hitting the backfield is Fulmer, trying to find somewhere to run, and again this defense from Century drives him back. Another loss on that carry. So 2nd and goal now, back at the 7 after the loss on the carry. And the Century defense continues to put on a show here. They're trying to hold off the Rams once again. 2nd and goal from the 7. Hymas, crossing route, caught, touchdown. That pass thrown to Durham on a 7-yard little crossing route. Durham catches it. And it is now 20-0. The Rams on top. Colton Durham with a 7-yard touchdown reception from Hymas. PAT up, and PAT is good to make it 21-0 Highland. With 6:20 left here in the 3rd quarter, we're going to take a quick break, thank a couple sponsors. This is Gate City Game Night here on IdahoSports.com, presented by Lookout Credit Union. We'll be right back.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
So, welcome back as it's 21-0. Highland kicking off to Century. Return taken at about the 3 and cut down at about the 20, maybe the 22-yard line for Century. And during the break, just discussing, Century, their offense just hasn't been able to get going. They haven't been able We think early they were into Highland territory, but it wasn't. They haven't been in the red zone for sure yet. They may have got across to about the 30 or 40 yard line of Highland, but that's about as far as they've got tonight. 6:15 left here in the third, still looking for their first points of the game. Handoff up the middle to Fulmer, and there he goes. Big run. Excuse me, that might be Johnson on the carry. It is. So a huge play for Johnson. We were just talking about him getting into Highland territory, and they are now, as Century with a injured player. So a big run from Johnson. About a 34-yard run for Johnson. Makes it 1st and 10 for the Diamondbacks. And it looks like it's just a cramp for Century, so that's good news. I think it's number 57, if I saw the number correctly.
Yeah, it's these hot, dry days, right? You know, just making sure you're staying hydrated, and also just everything else that goes into that. You know, that there's a lot smarter people than me know all the stuff that goes into it, but I've heard, you know, it comes down to electrolytes, right? Have the right sodium balances in your body, and at high school level, you hope it doesn't happen.
It was number 57. They got him stretched out. That is John Holton, a sophomore, 6 foot, 185-pound defensive lineman. He looked big. He's bigger than that. There's no way he's only 185 pounds. I weigh 185 pounds, and that kid's got 50 pounds on me. He is a big kid. That's 52. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong guy. That's why. The injured player was number 52, actually. Yeah, not injured, just cramped up. That's Jackson Geslin, excuse me. He's a senior, 6'1", 255. Okay, that makes more sense. 6'1", 255 makes a lot more sense for the guy I was looking at.
You didn't believe the 185?
I was like, I mean, do I look like that? I mean, I'm not that big. He's a big kid. Of course, I'm not 6'1" either, but. So 2nd and 9 after the short gain. To the near sideline, but ball thrown way too short and way outside. And a cramp here on this sideline now. That's Gunter as he tried to cut back to the ball. He went down. They're stretching him out. But obviously there's things that hurt a lot worse than getting the cramp. But man, it hurts for a second until you can get it stretched out. It's the worst.
The world's gonna end. And
yeah, that calf cramp. It's like, oh no,
amputate the whole leg.
Somebody just whacked me in the back of the leg with something. Get that thing stretched out and get back into the ball game. They need Gunter on the field. 3rd and 9. Across the middle, it's caught, and then it came out. Incomplete, but we're going to have a roughing the passer, I believe. Personal foul. Roughing the passer is the call. The Highland crowd chants "take his whistle," but really in this setting, it's more of "take his flag." So they need to work on their sports chants over there a little bit, Highland.
And like we mentioned at the start of the game, it's gonna be a lot of that tonight, right? It's back and forth. A lot of I guess a battle of egos, right? We're from the same town, and so we're gonna take this a little bit more seriously.
1st and 10 for Century. Big run up the middle. Johnson running powerfully now. And he's going straight ahead. He's not trying to even avoid any contact, just run through it. A nice 7-yard, I'll say 6-yard pickup on the carry. And this is the best drive thus far that Century's put together. Been helped a little by penalties, but a couple big runs now from Johnson. And they're almost inside the red zone, down to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, he's been Century's workhorse tonight, that's for sure.
So back in the gun with Johnson on his right this time. All sorts of extra motion as I believe the wide receivers took off way too early. So that'll back things up a little bit. It'll be 2nd and about 9 now after that. 2nd and 8, we'll say.
So I know the fix, right? You know, if it's lineman, I played lineman in high school, and so I know the fix. The fix is in practice. If you jump, you're gonna hold your squat, right, until coach tells you you're good. But how do you fix it with wide receivers? They're just
stand there. Hand off to Johnson. No, that time Satter kept it himself behind Johnson. Picks up about 2 yards. So now it's going to be 3rd and 6. Upcoming for Century. And their best scoring opportunity here in this ball game. And here it is, Satter in the gun. He's got Johnson to his left. Now 2-man in motion.
There it is.
And it's going to be caught for a first down, but there were 2 men in motion. And it's an illegal shift, so that'll negate the first down. And again, just an offensive miscue there, as Johnson went in motion, as did number 23. The ball was caught by Burrows, but Horton and Johnson both in motion, so that'll back him up 5. It'll be 3rd and 12 after the illegal shift. And still Century unable to get on the board here with 3:13 left in the 3rd quarter. It's been all Highland, and it's been all in the last about 9 minutes of this ball game. Down the sideline and incomplete, as Burrows wasn't able to track that one down, and now it's 4th and 12. We'll see if this is the field goal crew. Or they're going to punt. It looks like they're going to punt. On the punt, number 28. Silas Wills. Nice punt. Going to place it very nicely. And do they corral it prior to the end zone? No, he says touchback. Good effort down there on the coverage team by number 11. That's Bull, but he just wasn't quite able to get to it. And so Highland will take over on their 20-yard line, 1st and 10 with 2:49 left here in the 3rd quarter. Again, this is Gate City Game Night presented by Lookout Credit Union. Also presented in part by Valley Office Systems and Portneuf Medical Center. Huge thanks to them. Huge thanks to our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Delayed handoff to Fulmer, and Fulmer picks up about 5 out to the 25. 2nd and 5 upcoming. Remember to stay tuned on IdahoSports.com. Check out the site. Check out the Friday Night Flash for all the scores around the state. And then check out the extra stuff we've got on there. There's always articles. This time of year we've got the media polls for football. We've got coaches polls that come out for all of the fall sports. Down the sideline and caught. The reception by Durham as he got behind the defense. Defense kind of got turned around, and it's 1st and 10 all the way down to the 39-yard line for the Highland Rams.
Huge misdirection on that play, and props to Highland for pulling it off. They had stacked receivers to the right, and obviously the play went left on the sideline and made the whole defense really bite this direction down towards the far sideline.
Looking that way again for Callan, and Callan made the catch, I believe. No, he did not, but he was out of bounds even if he had caught it. So 2nd and 10. Yeah, you're right, Matt, on that earlier play. They really faked out the defense, made everybody look the other way, and then it was just one-on-one coverage, and Durham able to get behind the defense and make a big play. 2nd and 10 for the Rams with 1:48 left here in the third. Slings that out to the right. It's caught. Little wide receiver screen set up, and then a nice run after the catch by number 14. That is Jet Richards. Quick handoff, fake or quarterback keeper up the middle to get the first down. It was 3rd and 1, and going right behind his center was Drew Hymas for the first down. And 1:11 and counting here. 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Hymas with Callan with him in the backfield now. Callan looked right. Now he finds a seam and goes head first into the tackler. That's March. But a nice pickup by Callan as it's now 2nd and 2 after an 8-yard gain. 36 seconds on the clock and a timeout taken by Century. As looks like the defense might be getting worn down a little bit. And you called it, Matt, that this may happen eventually. They've been on the field for so long. And right now it's starting to show. Valley Office Systems and Rico are your local hometown office solutions team, delivering the level of service that you expect because they're a service company above all else. Valley Office Systems and Rico want to wish all the Gate City teams best of luck. Huge thanks to Valley Office Systems. And a big thanks to our presenting sponsor for Gate City Game Night. It's Lookout Credit Union, and also presented in part by Valley Office Systems and Portneuf Medical Center. Remember to get your Gridiron game picks in each week, or your pigskin pick'ems, I think is what Brandon Bainey calls them. Get those in each week. You can compete against other high school football fans from across the state, and you get to compete against us, the so-called experts at IdahoSports.com, and it's all free. Win weekly prizes and the chance to be crowned the regular season picks champion. It's okay if you start right now, because weekly winners get $25, and if you win the whole regular season, you get $100 and a $250 donation in your name as that pass goes incomplete, out of bounds, intended for Barella. $250 donation will be given in your name to your favorite high school in Idaho. And best of all, it's still free to play. So get your Gridiron game picks in each week. Friday, they close at 7 on Friday. And this is a pro tip from Brandon Bainey. Some games that are played on Thursday, so you have some varsity games that are on those picks that are played on Thursday, we're giving those to you for free. All you got to do is go to Idaho Sports, find the score, and you've automatically got a correct pick. Hymas keeps it himself, finds some running room, and then dropped shy of the 10 at about the 12. It's a first down still, though, with 23 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Say you feel guilty about not joining your work or your family's fantasy league this season, right? This is less commitment, right?
Well, much less commitment. Are you speaking from experience here, Matt?
Well, I'm in the league. It just auto-drafted for me.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think we'll see how I do.
So you've got a kicker playing quarterback for you, and the worst defense in the league. And
yep.
I've actually never played fantasy football.
Yep. Yeah.
As our quarter ends.
I've got a brother. He always rings me into it somehow. So
I know guys that love it, and that it's like a big deal every year. I mean, they do a whole draft party and a draft board and everything, but I just never have devoted the time to it. And at the end of the third quarter, as we switch ends of the field, it's Highland driving again here. They're leading 21-0. And really, a game that I don't know how much more you could ask the defense for Century to do. They've done a pretty good job. It seems like they're starting to get worn down. Turnovers and just lack of possession time and being able to move the football offensively for Century has really made it a difficult task for the Century defense to try to hold Highland, and they did basically for the whole first half. Really, they've given up 2 touchdowns. And, the pick, the interception is what set them up in good field position on one of those touchdowns. So you almost can't even catch that or count that as a fault of the defense. So again, they were put in a tough spot. The other touchdown, that 80-yard kickoff return to start the second half from Kai Callan. Well, it's 1st and 10. Hymas. Ball intended for number 87. It was incomplete.
For a second, I thought they were going to give it to him. I thought he had pinned it between him and the ground, but the ball is sputtered out.
Yeah, that's Cy Reno, the tight end. And so it's now 2nd and 10 from about the 13-yard line. For the Rams as they come back to the line of scrimmage. They lead 21-0 here in the crosstown rivalry. Little delay draw from Hymas. Hymas going to get all the way to the end zone. Touchdown. Drew Hymas, a 12-yard touchdown run for him. And somehow my score changed. It's now 27-0 here in the fourth quarter, just underway. 11:52 left, and on for the PAT is Jamison Francis, and he knocks it through. He's perfect on the evening. It's now 28-0, all Highland, and almost all here in the second half. The moon coming up over the mountains out there, nice and red because of all the smoke in the air. It's kind of odd. It just looks, you can't see the mountains, and it just looks like there's something orange poking up from out of the sky out there. So Highland will have another chance Century another chance on offense. A low squib kick hit the hand of a return man. Now finally picked up and returned out to the 25-yard line as a couple of Diamondbacks touched that before it was picked up. It'll be 1st and 10 for Century at their 25. Stick around with us at the end of this game. We'll name our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Drew Hymas making a case that he should be it. He's got 2 touchdown passes and now a 12-yard touchdown run to add to his stats. And an offsides penalty as Highland lined up across the ball. So they'll get 5 more yards. That's the second one we've seen on Highland. They're really crowding the line. So 1st and 5 now. Handoff to Johnson. And Johnson, hard running, picks up a couple. It'll be 2nd and 7 upcoming. So 2nd and 7. Back to pass. And now in trouble trying to get to the sticks, but it's going to end up maybe just a half-yard shy, and in comes a late flag. And another from the back judge. We'll see what the calls are here as the officials kind of sort things out. The first flag I thought may have gone against Century for a late hit, but then another late flag came in from the umpire position. So a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Century, a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct against Highland. They offset, and the result of the play is it a first down?
I think it is.
And it is. So 1st down. So 2 dead ball unsportsmanlike penalties, and the result is a 1st down for Century. 1st and 10 for the Diamondbacks. 10:47 left to go in the ball game. Thanks for joining us here on Gate City Game Night from Century High School, presented by Lookout Credit Union. Hand off to Fulmer. Fulmer drives forward. Excuse me, that's Johnson. Keep saying Fulmer, and I'm looking at the wrong roster. That's Johnson, excuse me. Nice run for a 3-yard pickup for the Diamondbacks. That pitch goes to Johnson. Johnson with a stiff arm, trying to get back, but he's going to be dropped short of the line of scrimmage. He's trying to get the corner and couldn't. So it'll be 3rd and 8 upcoming for the Diamondbacks. Back to pass, in trouble, and down he goes. Satter couldn't get free.
And that brings up another fourth down, another long fourth down that Century's going to punt away.
And Satter a little frustrated coming off, and nobody can blame him. It's been a tough night offensively as Highland takes the timeout with 8:44 left in the ball game. Out to do the punting for Century. That's number 26, Shelton. It's just been a tough offensive output here for the Diamondbacks, as they're on the verge of being shut out by a crosstown rival Highland Rams. 28-0 the score right now. Again, about 8.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. I want to thank all of our sponsors for Gate City Game Night. It's presented by Lookout Credit Union, also presented in part by Valley Office Systems and Portneuf Medical Center. And a big thanks to our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Nice punt away, and away from the return man. It takes a great bounce for Century all the way down inside the 30. So a great punt by number 26, that's Shelton for the Diamondbacks. He does his job and flips the field for him. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Highland Rams with 8:33 left in the ball game.
I thought there was a train coming past. I guess it was just a...
I thought I heard it too. Probably behind us. There is quite the set of train tracks that run through the Great Gate City. Handoff up the middle, pretty good hole to run.
We'll see if Highland hops on this train and takes it for another 6-7 with PAT.
Now they've got the offense going here in the third quarter. And, you know, again, though, they have 2 offensive touchdowns, but really one, you know, they came off of a turnover. They had a short field on the other one. It's just the offense hasn't been stellar by any means for Highland either, as that carry again comes from number 6 for the Rams. That is Sutton on the carry the last couple of times. It's now, he got a first down on the first carry and then 6 more on that one. So 2nd and 4 upcoming. But it's just been field position, turnovers, and just the time on the field for the defense that has really hurt Century. As Highland will take their time in the huddle. Looks like they have some substitutions into the ball game, does Highland. Here comes the rush from the Century. Hymas gets outside of it on the throwback. It's incomplete. Was intended for Zebi or Zebi. And it's now 3rd and 4 upcoming. You know what? Century brought just about everyone on that rush. They had one-on-one coverage downfield. The moon's up all the way from behind the mountains over there. It's a quarterback keeper there. He's not going to get the first down. Going to be a couple yards shy on the carry. That was Hymas again on the QB keep. It'll be 4th and 2, just shy of midfield. Looks like Heim is still out on the field. We'll see if they opt to go for it here on 4th and short. .635 and counting. Hymus back deep, so it looks like Hymus going to punt this away. As Century drops back their return men. And Hymus does kick it away. Nice punt. Takes a hop and a nice one for the Rams, all the way down to about the 6-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Century. So they've spent a lot of time near their own goalposts in this ball game, offensively and defensively. They've got 6:05 left on the clock to try to get on the board. Remember to check out Friday Night Flash on IdahoSports.com. And if you're a soccer or volleyball fan, check out IdahoSports.com for all the scores for all fall sports. Even have some cross country that's been broadcast on IdahoSports.com. You can link to results through our site. Handoff up the middle, some reserves into the game as well. Backups for Century. That new quarterback into the game for Century, number 15, that's Crabtree. Tell you what, he's a big kid. .15 Crabtree.
You like that because he can see over his offensive line.
6'6" sophomore. That's Deegan Crabtree, 205. That ball caught by number 11 Bull. So 3rd and 5 upcoming. Crabtree going to be in the gun. He just towers over about everybody at 6'6", biggest kid on the team, tallest kid on the team. Takes the snap, a little quick out, caught. Did he get to the first down? He might be short. Just right at the 15. Valentine with the catch. So 4th and 1, and the punt team will come on. So Century able to move the ball just a little on that drive, and now they'll punt it away. They'll look for a booming punt here from Shelton. Try to drive Highland back further. And he does get a nice one off. Nice spiral. And the ball came loose and then fallen on at the 42-yard line. So Barella had it slip through, but he was able to fall right on top of it, and it's 1st and 10 again for Highland inside of Century territory at the 42-yard line. 4:09 left in the ball game. Try to get you who's in at quarterback for the Highland Rams right now. That's number 32. Handoff up the middle, room to run, coming around the near side. That is 6. That is Sutton once again on the carry as he picks up big yardage. Number 32, the quarterback for the Rams. That is Chase Zweigert, sophomore quarterback for the Rams. Zweigert in the gun. First and 10. Hand off to Sutton. Sutton looking for room to run and gets piled up and driven back. And he'll gain a yard, maybe 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8 upcoming from the 25-yard line with 3:11 left here in the ball game. Highland scored with about 1:10 left in the first half. Late there in the second quarter. They ran back the opening kickoff in the second half, and they've scored a couple more times off of turnovers and short fields. Zweigert keeps it himself, trying to get the first down. He does. Headed for the sideline, takes the slide.
Zweigert's going to run it for the first down.
So Zweigert picks up the first down. Down to the 12-yard line, looks like, for the Rams. 2:36 left in the ball game. Second string in, really, for both these squads, trying to get something into the end zone here late for the Rams. Zweigert all by himself back in the backfield. Now the ball's handed off to the fly, and the ball comes free, and I think Century has it after the turnover. Diamondbacks force another fumble, and they come away with a forced turnover. The defense really has been pretty good here for the Diamondbacks tonight, starting and the second defense that's come in. There's too many turnovers and too many short fields for the Highland offense. As coming onto the field at quarterback, once again, that's number 15. That's Crabtree back in the gun. 2:12 left in the ball game. Handoff up the middle, nowhere to go for the running back. That's Turner on the carry. It'll be 2nd and 10 coming up. Crabtree hands off again. Again, nowhere to go. I think ball carrier that time was 32, Payne. And now it'll be 3rd and a long 11 for Century. The Highland Rams going to come out of here with a win. 1:18. They'll move to 1-2 on the season. Century will fall to 0-3. Again, Century plays here next week against Minico, a very good Minico team, so that's going to be another tough outing for the Diamondbacks. Crabtree steps back, slings it out in the flat. It's caught. First down and more down the far sideline, and a little bit of room to work here for the Diamondbacks with just under a minute to go, 53 seconds left in the ball game. Remember to stick around. We'll take a quick break after this and come back with our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Up the middle on the carry for a very short gain.
Crabtree hands it off the goal up the middle, 2nd down, Diamondbacks.
And a timeout taken by Century.
Timeout, Diamondbacks.
We're going to take that timeout as well. Step away and thank a sponsor. We'll be back for the final here on IdahoSports.com. It's Gate City Game. Well, welcome back as after the timeout, another run by Century gives a short gain. It's 3rd and 8 now. for the Diamondbacks, and that'll be it. They won't snap it again. The Highland Rams come out of here with a shutout, 28-0 over the hometown Diamondbacks. We are going to step away for a quick break. We'll come back with our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Don't go anywhere.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Draw?
That was fast and secure. It's mobile wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
I love Lookout's campus branch. The vibe and the service. But with digital banking, it all comes to me. My customizable dashboard provides all my information. Accounts, cards.
Anything else?
I'm good. Bill pay, even my credit score. Gotta go. I mean, you gotta go download this app and upload convenience today.
Welcome back as we're final here. In this one, Highland comes across town and defeats the Century Diamondbacks 28-0 in a game that it felt closer for a long time. Century just never able to get anything going offensively. A couple turnovers hurt the Diamondbacks. Short fields gave Highland a lot of opportunities offensively, and finally the defense caved. And Highland comes in here and gets a 28-0 win on Century's opening home game here at Century High School. We looked over everything in our... Sorry, Matt, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think there's some good looks to come away with this game, even if you're Century. You know, I think defensive did really well, and you also got some game experience for some of your younger guys. So,
yeah, some good things to look at. You're right. They get some guys into the game. Really, the Century defense played a really good game. They stopped Highland multiple times deep in their own end. They forced some turnovers. They made it difficult. They just were on the field too long. The turnovers from Century really put them in some bad spots. You know, the opening kickoff return to start the second half really kind of took the wind out of the sails of Highland. It was 7-0 going into halftime, and then right off the bat, Kai Callan runs back an 80-yard kickoff return to make it 14-0, and Highland never looked back from there. But with that being said, we want to give away our IdahoSports.com player of the game, and it's the quarterback for the Highland Rams, Drew Hymas. He had a pretty big night. Threw for two touchdowns, and ran for another. He had a touchdown pass in the second quarter, right at the end of the quarter, to make it 7-0. And then, of course, we talk about the 80-yard kickoff return to start the third for Callan to make it 14-0. Then Hymas to Durham with about a 7-yard touchdown pass, and that was set up for a deep pass that Hymas had to Barella, I believe, down that sideline. That made it 21-0, and then Hymas on a 12-yard scamper in the fourth. That was right at the beginning of the fourth to make it 28-0, and that was our scoring for the game. And congratulations to number 9, Drew Hymas, for the Highland Rams. He's our IdahoSports.com player of the game. Well, this has been an IdahoSports.com's GameStream production of Gate City Game Night, presented by Lookout Credit Union, also presented in part by Valley Office Systems and Portneuf Medical Center. A huge thanks to them. Brought to you by our major advertising partners as well: Valley-Wide Cooperative, Project Filter, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. I want a huge shout out to the administration here at Century High School and helping us get this broadcast to you, and everyone for their hospitality and helping us get set up. Congratulations again to Drew Hymas, our IdahoSports.com player of the game. He threw for 2 touchdowns and ran for another in this 28-0 win over the Century Diamondbacks. And thanks again for joining us as the Highland Rams defeat the Century Diamondbacks. Highland goes to 1-2. They get their first win of the season. Century falls to 0-3, and Century will face the Minico Spartans here on their home field next week. Join us for that one here on IdahoSports.com as well. For my broadcast partner, Matt Kelly, and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Lauren Jensen saying so long until next time. We'll actually see you next week here on IdahoSports.com. Join us and stay tuned on the website for all your scores, updates, coaches' polls, everything going on around the state and high school sports. It's all on IdahoSports.com. Have a great night.
Home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
All right, I put this on one check. Is that okay? Drop?
That was fast and secure. It's Mobile Wallet from Lookout Credit Union.
Your home team, when local matters. Valley Office Systems, your local provider for all things office. Copiers, printers, office furniture, and document management. Proudly serving Idaho since 1974. Valley Office Systems.
Has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the